So, hi, Lulu.
Hi, how's everybody tonight?
Hi, Lulu. We are good. Hi, Lulu.
Hi.
All right. Hello and welcome to Lulu's Way, Healthy Food, Healthy Life. My name is Barb and I am grateful for the opportunity to be your host this evening. In order to keep this meeting free from distraction, we ask that all in attendance please mute yourself unless you are speaking. We also ask that you keep the video mode turned off if you're doing anything other than sitting and participating in this meeting so that we can minimize distraction. In this community, we gather to support, encourage, and inspire on the benefits of nutrition, weight loss, wellness, and the joy that comes from choosing to serve yourself well. We are not medically trained, nor do we have formal training in nutrition. We come together here for the sole purpose of providing support, sharing experiences, and promoting a healthy lifestyle. It may be wise to check with your healthcare professional with any dietary suggestions or advice you receive from this group discussion, especially if you have health challenges. Individuals in this group may have different ideas on how to eat healthy, figure out what works best for you, and do it your way. All right. Well, we have a very time-specific topic today, don't we, Lulu?
Okay, so what I wanted to talk about tonight, what I thought would be a good topic is holidays and special occasions that come up. Well, what we have coming up is the October Halloween, and we got the November Thanksgiving, and we got the December Christmas. So with Halloween right around the corner, for anybody that can't imagine a Halloween without eating chocolate or candy, I remember that, just thinking like, all the candy that's everywhere. If you work, it's at the office. If you go to the bank, there's like a bowl of candy. If you go anywhere, there's candy. And if you give out candy for trick-or-treaters, you buy the candy. And I remember at the beginning, I used to buy what I didn't like so that, although, something? You learn to like it. If you're a foodie, you just be like, well, it isn't my favorite, but I guess I'll have it, like those chewy fruit things. Like, I don't like those. So I wouldn't buy like Reese's and all that kind of stuff. I would just buy like that chewy fruit stuff, but then I'd end up chewing on it anyway, So, a sugar addict is a sugar addict, Today, I just know what I have today, the direction of my life, the design of my life, the health that I benefit from is just far more superior than any piece of chocolate on Halloween. And it's not so much like, what I want to make clear is that if it was just one piece of chocolate on Halloween, it likely wouldn't even affect your weight loss. But what am I promised after I have that? What am I promised? I'm promised nothing. Okay? I don't know if that one is going to turn into 2. It's going to turn into 3, and then I've eaten the whole bag and there's nothing left for the trick-or-treaters. I got to go buy another bag because I've eaten it all, Like, that hasn't happened. It's like, to me, it's just not worth the risk. If I could have a Christmas dinner like what everybody's having and just say, I'm going to just have the Christmas dinner that everybody's having today. I'm not going to weigh and measure my meal because it's Christmas, Then what happens the day after Christmas when there's leftovers everywhere? Oh, well, then I'll just wait for till the leftovers are gone. Oh, now I'll just wait till New Year's Day. And how many New Year's Day have you started? I've started many, many grandiose plans of change on the 1st of January, none of which ever lasted into anything that changed my life. It's one thing to talk about like successful dieting and like losing weight, and that's a whole different thing than, even though that's what's actually happening, it's I feel like it's happening behind the scenes, like what we're looking for here, what we're achieving here is to have a healthy relationship with food, so that like Halloween comes, I don't need a chocolate bar to make that day. What is that day anyway? What does it even matter? It doesn't even matter. Like, if we're talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas, those holidays matter. But Halloween is just like nothing. It's for kids. It's for kids. We just like keep our hands out of the candy. The candy's for the kids, you know? I don't know if you have any challenges with your with Halloween coming up that you're concerned about it. I just thought we could talk about it today. It's kind of right around the corner. Or even we can even talk about Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we can talk about those for the rest of the year. We can talk about those here and there, because Thanksgiving, well, especially Christmas. Christmas is never about just Christmas Day, never, because there's Christmas Eve. There's the Christmas Eve feast, you know. Then there's the Christmas parties. Then everybody's having Christmas parties, and it's just all. And then the gifts are always food. I at work I used to get. Because, like, you know, nobody kind of really knew, you know, they'd give me a bottle of wine, they got a box of chocolates, and I would just graciously accept it all. Thank you so much. This is so generous. It's beautiful. What a beautiful box of chocolates. These are, like, fancy and just terrific. And then I just give them away, you know. Same with the bottles of wine. You just, I don't know, for me, I just graciously accept it and thank them and even talk about the quality of them, everything. No intentions of eating them, but they don't even have to know that, you know. You know, Thanksgiving, you know, everybody's buying pies and pies, and there's pies and pies and pies everywhere, you know. And it's like, when I think of Thanksgiving, I think of thankfulness. I just do. And I remember, you know, I was thinking more about, you know, when you're not in the food and you're not thinking about, oh, Thanksgiving, that's the holiday that you like, there's like everything to eat, and you just, everybody eats and then sits on the couch like this, all stuffed, you know. And so I'm just like, I'm not doing it anymore, and I'm really grateful that I'm not going to feel the way that I'm not going to feel like that the next day. And I remember I had this idea that what we would do on Thanksgiving, and I planned it all out. So this is me instead of bringing food. I bring my own food, right? Now this holiday is going to be nothing about the food. And I was going to my nephews and his little kids, and so there's like kids and adults. And I got some twigs in the backyard, and I got a vase, and I put these twigs in the vase, right? And then I got these little pieces of paper, and then I punched a hole in each one for like a little loop. And then I got orange and yellow, like fall colors, little strips of yarn. And so everybody wrote 3 things that each person got 3 little pieces of paper, and they wrote what they were grateful for, something that they're grateful for on the page. And then they get the tie, and then somewhere on a twig they would tie it on. So we had this tree full of all these little tags of paper. You know, you can get pretty like fall paper, different colors, and then it was just a beautiful thing. And then everybody was poking through it to see what other people wrote, but nobody knew what each other wrote because you didn't put your name on it, you know. And it was adorable, the things the kids wrote, and it was just what the day's about, you know. It's really not about the turkey, you know. I know, like, turkey is on my plan, and I don't know what they put on there. I don't know what they based on there, and the butter all over it, and the grease all over it. I just want to bring clean. If I'm going to have turkey, it's going to be clean turkey. And all the veggies, yeah, good luck trying to find a veggie that doesn't have, like, marshmallow melted all over it, or maple syrup on it, or butter. And I'm not interested in that either. And I find that sometimes I can sense that people are slighted, that like their vegetables aren't good enough for me. Like they're considering all of that healthy. And I'm not going to give anybody a health lesson on Thanksgiving, okay? I'm not going to give anybody a health lesson anywhere I go, because unless you ask me. If you ask me, I'll never shut up. But if you're not asking me, I say nothing, because nobody wants to hear it. They want to eat in peace. Think about it. Did you want to hear that when you were sitting there stuffing your face on Christmas like some health nut? You know, I remember my aunt. Her and I were very close. She was like a health nut, and she was always the one like doing aerobics. She like did aerobics at the senior center. She was like the teacher, and she was just like, she always did all these vitamins and everything. So she'd walk in at Christmas. This was my father's sister, and she'd say, "Oh, I made a sugar-free apple pie." And my father would be like, "Who the freak wants that?" Right? And it was so funny because nobody wants that shit, and but then he died at 66, she died at 94, so there was something she was doing something right. It's just like I try to be just as nonchalant as possible, and I just say, something, it's just easier when I just bring my own. I don't say like, well, these are clean, these I don't have any shit on them. I don't say that stuff. I don't want to. Everyone thinks that they're eating healthy because it's meat and potatoes and veggies, but it's just laden with fat and stuff, So if you want to stay on the plan, you don't want to eat that food. I'm saying you might not want to eat that food if you want to stay on plan. If this might be your first Thanksgiving or your first Christmas, I had my first one. It was definitely odd, to be like, oh, I'm going to like, Christmas Eve. It's like, that's like the pig out, that's the big pig out. Then there's the next pig out the next day, and all the drinking too, I had my first one, and it was odd. It was, I felt a little antsy, but I wasn't going to eat. I was not going to eat because I wanted this more. I was probably still in my losing phase, and I just knew that like it was just way too risky. And I made it through all the holidays, and they were, as far as quality of holidays, I was so present. I felt so present for when you're present for more than just the food. It's just amazing what's going on. It's just like you're just watching your people that you love, and it's a very interesting. And then they just got easier and easier, and now it's just like it doesn't even, it's like whatever, it doesn't even matter. But for the one right, the hot one right around the corner is Halloween. Candy everywhere. It just doesn't faze me. If anybody, I don't know, having candy in the house to give out to people, just how do you plan that? How do you anticipate any struggle with that? Because, if you do, I'm going to suggest you turn your lights out and just pretend it's not Halloween, and then what are you going to do with leftover candy? I'm at this stage of the game that all that candy can sit on my counter for weeks, and it does, because what I do is I get what my son likes and what Brittany likes, and I make sure I get something they like for the leftover, and then when it's leftover, it's on the counter, and it's just there forever, because they're not sugar addicts, They just have one, and then the next day they have one, and and they like the mini ones, and it's just, they're just not, I would just be there. I would be there. And I wouldn't forget it was there. So that's how I differ from them. And then I watch that, the dynamics of that, and I say, they just show me exactly who I'm not. They show me who I'm not. Some people show me who I am. Somebody that's eating and I can see all the signs, and I'm just like, that's me right there. That's me. And then I look at somebody, other people that are just eating just very normally and not compulsively and not addictively, and can still have little bits and pieces and have a thing on Thanksgiving pie and stuff. And I just look and say, that's not me. That's just not me. That's not what I would do. And just knowing that and not telling myself lies. Like, remember that Zoom meeting we did, and the topic was the lies that I tell myself, and it was that whole list of all those lies, and it's like, and I just believed them. I just knew, no, This time I know I can just eat at Christmas and then go right back on it the next day because I've been doing so good and I'm really into it. And then, yep, that would be the end of that, you know? And I don't want that anymore. I don't have time for that anymore because it takes way too much time. It steals from me. It steals my joy. So, you know, I don't have time to be struggling with that anymore. Somebody wrote to me just today, maybe you're here, I don't know, saying like, I've been on your plan, I've lost 25 pounds, and I'm really struggling to stay on the plan. How do you stay motivated? And I just thought, when I see that word struggle, I always say, it's only a struggle if you're fighting it. If you're even entertaining the idea of having something, and you're over here following the plan, that's the conflict right there. That's the conflict. So it's kind of like, it's about sitting there and asking yourself, why am I even thinking about it? Why am I even entertaining the idea? Why would I even do that? What's going on that I think that my life needs that? You know, I know that just is not going to contribute to the goodness in my life. So I just know it so crystal clear today, and that's the real gift. And you know, I just want to just say this: if you're following this food plan and you're really committed to it, and you don't find yourself struggling much, and you're just really kind of excited about putting the meals together and really feeling good and feeling uplifted, and just know that is a priceless gift. You have a gift because not everybody's doing that. Not everybody, some people are struggling to do it, to even get started, you know? So if you're doing it, it's a precious, precious gift. What I do, the commitment, where this came from, I can only say that it was divine intervention. What I have, I know it's precious. It's like fragile glass, and I don't want it to shatter. Because it would snowball. So many other things would be shattering in my life. And it's just not worth the candy on Halloween. It's just not worth it. Even if it's Godiva, it doesn't matter. We don't need the Godiva chocolate. We don't need nothing. The Halloween is just a day to make kids feel really cute. You know, you just go like, look at you. You look so good. Yeah, that's the best Batman I've ever seen. You know, that's what we do on Halloween. We don't eat candy, you know? So that's what I have. That's my spiel for this week. Barb, you got anything for the trick-or-treaters?
Sure. So, as far as Halloween goes, first of all, we have a meeting on Halloween.
We do?
So,
perfect.
yes. Halloween is next Thursday.
Perfect.
So hopefully, everybody's able to come. I will be able to come because Sue will be handing out the candy. She loves Halloween. But you know, I'm thankful that sugar thing for me is in the past.
Yeah.
I don't crave sugar anymore. I don't have that little thing in my head. So, we have so much candy in my house right now, and we always have candy in the house, and I just don't care. So I'm thankful for that. Like you said, it wasn't easy to get there,
right.
But I am so thankful for that. I did want to just briefly say about Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I've talked about this before, but so for Thanksgiving, I cook Thanksgiving. And so I know exactly what goes on that turkey and what doesn't go on that turkey. And so I can eat the turkey that gets roasted on Thanksgiving because I know what's in that turkey. And I also know what's on the vegetables that I'm going to cook. And for the longest time, I knew what was in the potatoes. So I never put butter in my mashed potatoes because I figured everybody's putting butter on it afterwards. They won't even know that it's not there. And so for the longest time, I used like 1% milk when I could have milk and no butter, and nobody ever knew. So, but you know, I'm not proposing that, but I'm just saying, because I'm the cook, I know exactly what I can have and exactly what I can't have, right? So I'm able to, and then I just weigh out my food while everybody's digging into their food, I'm just over there with my scale weighing out my food. They don't even know. And then you sit down with a plate of vegetables, and everything that you need, and then nobody knows. Nobody knows the difference for here or there. And then for Christmas, I go to my brother-in-law's house, and they make this beautiful spread, and I used to eat the spread, but now it doesn't serve me well. And so I just call his partner and tell her that, I'm going to be bringing my own food, just so you know. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. And then I just bring it, and then she gives me a nice plate, and I put it on the plate. I don't eat out of Tupperware at Christmas, but I just put it on a nice plate. And last year, my father-in-law looked over at me, and he's like, and he's an old Swamp Yankee. I don't know if anybody knows what a Swamp Yankee is, but he's an old Swamp Yankee. And he looks, Barb, what the hell are you eating? And I go, I'm just eating my food, Lyle. It's okay. And he's like, rah, rah, and he just starts eating. And I just ignore him, and that's just who he is, right? But I always just, this year you probably won't even, it just so happened I was sitting right next to him. But, if I was sitting down the way, you wouldn't even have noticed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I always just let the host know, because I think that's respectful. And then I don't eat anything except for what I bring. And it's like you said, Lulu, it's more about being present with the people that are there, and less and less about food. So much less about food. So that's kind of how I handle it. So for when I cook, I know exactly what I can have from the sides that I make, and I still weigh everything out, and nobody really cares. And then when I go to somebody else's house for a meal, I just bring my own food. Yeah. And most people know now that's just the deal. And the more you do this, the more people will know. Yeah. And the more times you go over to somebody's house, somebody invites you over to their house, you just go, great, just cook for Sue. I'm going to bring my own meal. They're like, fine. So I just think it sounds simplistic. And the first time you do it, it's like you get this stomach, I got to make that call. This is going to be so hard. But once you do it over and over again, it's not hard. People just understand that's what you do. So I do it at Easter, right? I go to my neighbor's house for Easter. I just bring my salad, plop it on a nice plate. It's all good. Yeah. So I hope that's helpful for everybody. And
Barb, after all years and years and years, you don't even have to tell the hostess anymore, because they know.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. And I just went to a friend's house for dinner, and this was I go multiple times, and she just goes, you're bringing your own food, right? And I go, yeah. Yep. And then she goes, okay, I'll just make Sue and I chicken parm. I go, well, Sue would love that, because I don't generally cook chicken parm, so perfect. So
yes, good. Yeah. So we're all set for the holidays.
Yeah, and I hope that everybody finds their way to serve yourself well, because if you don't take care of yourself, nobody else is responsible for that. It's your responsibility to take care and nourish yourself with the best foods possible. Right. And so I hope that's helpful.
And it's also important to know that, one day of eating bad on Thanksgiving and one day of eating bad on Christmas is not going to kill you, but it's too risky. It's too risky, to just say, like, I'm just going to stop. Only because of my past. My past, like Dr. Phil says, a good indicator of future behavior is past behavior, So what have I done in the past? I have all these good plans, these intentions, and they never, ever, ever panned out. So I know I have to do something different and drastic.
Yeah. Well, you remember that graph that I showed you of my weight up and down? And it was always right around the holidays where I started going up, because I would eat, I'm just going to have a piece of whatever kind of pie was on the plate. And that sugar fix, that would just, I'd lose my mindset. Like, you're in a zone and then you lose that zone, and how do you get it back? And it's hard.
Yeah.
Once you're in the zone.
Because you've just started the cravings up again.
It's horrible. So, and it's always been right around that time. I have all that data. My sine waves.
Yep.
And hopefully I'm flatlining now. Only on the weight. That's all I want is flatline. So, anyway, should we open it up?
Yes.
Yep. And just, Carol, I saw that you can't raise your hand, so I will call on you after. Vicky. Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi, everyone. I love this topic because last Thanksgiving my strategy did not work. But I learned a lot from it. I learned that I'm capable of just about anything. I can suck chocolate off Raisinets.
Yeah.
So, that's the only candy I do not like. I brought it into my house, and if someone had told me I would have done that, I'd be like, no way, but that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah.
Terrible. So now I have admitted that one is never enough for me. That was a big step to admit it and say it out loud. One is never enough. It's just best avoided. So this year, I brought things in that I know I just will not touch at all. Not at all. And so I'm very hopeful. I'm going to stay strong. I already spoke to my son about Thanksgiving. He hosts at his house. And he's like, good for you, Mom. That's okay. But I didn't tell him, like, I'm going to bring a container with my own food. But I told him, that I'm eating very differently now. And, so we'll work it out. But he seemed very supportive about the whole thing.
That's so nice, Vicky. That's so nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the kids that are like, oh, come on, it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, But it's just nice that he wants to support you eating healthy. That's nice.
Vicky, one quick question for you. You said that your strategy last year didn't work. What was your strategy last year? Was to bring things.
I brought in Raisinets, which I just don't like Raisinets. I never have. But then I figured, they have chocolate on them. What?
It's just the fruit.
So I had all these shriveled up raisins everywhere.
Oh no!
When
you look at that the next morning,
it did not end well.
Oh
no!
And of course, then it was the beginning of a downfall for me.
Yeah.
So.
And you lost that in the zone feeling, right?
Yes.
Where you're so committed right now, and it's I wouldn't say it's necessarily easy, but you're committed to it.
I'm committed to it. I've made a lot of new habits, and I'm starting to feel like this is me. This is what I do. I'm very comfortable with it. I don't want to lose that.
No, I understand that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, good for you, Vicky.
I've never thought about sucking the chocolate off of raisins, but I'll never get a raisinette the same way ever again, Vicky.
Capable of doing that, I can just shift it over to better things for me.
Yes.
There you go.
You got better ideas. You got better ideas than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Lay's potato chip, right? You just can't eat one.
Right.
Yeah.
Best avoided. Just best avoided.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Nice. Carol from Connecticut.
Hi, Carol.
Hi. So I usually buy candy that I hate, like Smarties and things like that, that I don't really like. And that's been for the last few years my strategy. But this year my husband bought it. It was on sale at BJ's, and he got all this stuff. Anyway, the good news is we don't ever have it left over because we go down to my niece's house a couple doors down, and there's a big gathering, and we all bring candy and in our bowls, and the kids can just go nuts. And we don't bring anything home. So when it's over, and it's all good. So we stuck it in our closet at the end of the hallway, and I haven't touched it. So pretty proud of myself for that, with all the other craziness I've been through, and that's a good thing. So So, but there's candy in there I like, and yet I still haven't touched it. So, I think I'm just beyond, beyond that. And part of me didn't want to have to come here on Thursday and say, well, I ate half the bag, So it was a little motivation not to touch it. And, so yeah. I'm not a big dessert person anyway. I can resist sweets and cakes and things like that usually, but yeah, it's in the past it has been a tough time, but I've learned, I think, to move beyond it. So yeah. Hopefully everyone else.
I like how you said, Carol, I like how you said, like, I think I'm beyond that. Like, it's almost kind of like, thinking about and fighting with candy seems silly, doesn't it? I love how you said that, like, it's just I'm beyond that. It's like, it almost seems, when you really think about, like, if you had that candy in that closet and you were thinking about it, and then you're thinking about it, and then you're thinking about it, and then maybe you go smell it, and then you go think about it, and how silly.
Well, now I'm thinking about it.
You know what I mean? It's just like when you say, like, you're beyond that.
Be
it's
right
like,
back.
We don't have to be fighting with candy,
And it's a good idea to put it out of, it doesn't need to be right in front of your face either.
Yep.
Right. If you're buying candy for the kids, that's great. And a lot of people like to hand it out and look at the kids and what their costumes are, and that's what it's all about. And that's great too. But, for the week prior or however long you bought it, just put it in the closet at the end of the hall and pull it out next Thursday. Yeah, as a thought.
Yeah.
Good idea, Carol.
Great, Carol.
Tell Gary that was a great idea.
Yeah, no. It's my idea.
That was your idea. Oh, look, Seattle Sue thinks she's next. She just turned off her microphone like, Barb's going to pick me next.
Just laughing away. I don't buy the Halloween candy until the day of Halloween, and then I'm going to get something, of course, that I hate, and something real sticky like a bit of honey, something that would take out a filling if I dare, And then it's real, if I bring in chocolate or something, even though my husband is diabetic type 2, he gets excited when there's cookies or sweets, even though he's not supposed to have them. He goes like a land shark, circling the candy bowl. But anyway, come about 8:15, we shut off the lights. And the last kid, hey, you won the lottery. You're the 50th person here. You get the big dump. So all the candy goes, and the kid, I win, you won. Yeah, won.
That's a good idea, Sue.
That was a great idea.
So, I really don't. We want to turn the lights off and just not do Halloween, but we have friends with grandchildren that live in the area and little neighbor kids that they want us there. We can't say no, So, but so Halloween, yuck. But hey, that was a really good idea about this taking my salad. I had my Aunt Artis's 105th birthday party this weekend, and I went up to see her last month for another party, and I brought salads for Gary and I that were in our diet. And here, because she said, bring your own lunch. Okay, so we got there, and here they were making lunch. So everybody else was eating burritos and other things, and here Gary and I sat with 2 big-ass salads, and everybody was looking at us like they wanted some. I felt so guilty, but I like that idea of, I'm going to take my salad this weekend, I'm going to put it on Aunt Artis's plate, and they'll think that I got it in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That was a very good, because both Gary and I were sorry we didn't bring more, I felt kind of guilty about that, but that's a great idea.
Yeah. I went to a picnic, and I was putting my salad together, and they were like, oh, that salad looks so good. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Yeah.
That's not to share. It's mine. All that. Yep. All that is mine.
Yeah.
All mine.
Yeah. And
So
if they would have had, they said bring your own lunch. We're just all bringing our own lunch because there's only going to be us. And so here they ended up cooking for everybody. And here we had, Anyway, I'm going to also tell my cousin Mary, I'm going to tell her I'm bringing my own food. So,
yeah.
And that's a good suggestion there. I wrote those down.
Oh, good. Yeah. Because sometimes we forget. And I just do it as a courtesy to the host. And then, maybe this year when she calls to say, because every year we call and get the official invite to Christmas, which we've been doing for like 30 years. So I don't know why we need an official invite, but, it's still always nice to get that. And, she'll probably, hopefully, and I'll let you know, she might say, hey, Barb, are you bringing your own food? And I'll say yes. And then we'll know that it has sunk in after 1 year. So, and I'm just going through the chats here and I'm seeing that some people cannot raise their hands. So it looks like Sheila Parks wants to chat and couldn't raise her hand. So Sheila, are you there?
Here. How y'all doing?
Hi, Sheila.
Halloween we don't have a problem because only our grandkids mainly come and some nieces and nephews, and when they leave, the candy goes with them. So we don't have no leftover candy. But this year for Thanksgiving and Christmas, I told Nicole that because I cook all the time, every Christmas, every Thanksgiving. So instead of me tasting the food, I got my son to be my taster so that I won't have to taste the food or whatever to make sure that it's right. Because him and I have the same taste buds, so I know if he says it's right, it's ready. So that's what I'm doing different. This Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm getting my son to taste the food for me so that I won't have to be tempted to do that.
That's a good plan, Sheila. Got to watch those tastes. The BLTs, right? The bites, licks, and tastes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that that's
what I'm doing this Thanksgiving.
Yeah. This is our first Thanksgiving and Christmas together as a group.
Right.
I feel like we've been through many of them together, but we have not.
Yeah.
We haven't been through one. Yeah.
We have not been through one.
Mm.
So yeah, that just dawned on me.
Let's hope next year we're all in maintenance mode, and then Lulu can change her teaching to maintenance. That would be nice.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I just have a tiny bit more in a couple of categories. Nothing much though. I really don't. I everything is the same except my grains are a little bit bigger, and I have one at lunch. That's it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So you're all there.
You're all doing what I do. You're doing what I do.
Nothing's going to change for the. We're all there, and this is the new normal.
Yeah.
And
It's still scary though. All of us have lost so much weight so many times before and been unsuccessful at maintaining it. So it's almost like how this time, tell us what the trick is. So this time will be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is there's just no trick. It's just
There's
about
no trick.
it's just
Surprise.
about not waiting for something to end. The only thing it's going to happen is it's going to change. It's not going to end. It's going to change. So you get to a place, you're in a healthy body weight, you just start making some adjustments. For you, it might be one adjustment and boom, you stop losing, and that's all. Maybe you need two, another adjustment, maybe a third adjustment. You just do it little by little and just check every month and just go the month and see what happens. And that's just how I've always done it. And it's just serves me well.
Yeah.
Because I'm just staying.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm gaining on this trip like I gained in Florida. When I went to Florida, I gained weight being a beach bum. And so I'm still a beach bum, but I don't know whether it's the working out because I'm working out with a personal trainer, and I'm just really being faithful with that, and I'm not doing it to lose weight or to eat more food or anything. It has nothing to do with food. I'm just deciding I want to be stronger. I want to be stronger, and it has really nothing to do with looks. I'm not saying like, oh, I got to firm up these thighs or nothing like that. It's just I just want to work on flexibility. That's really that's my main goal. So she's working their ass off. Oh God, jeez.
Muscle as you get older is a good thing.
Yep.
Maintaining muscles. So
yeah.
Yep.
So working with her and just really working on really hard stuff. And we, I just did my workout this morning on the beach, and it's hard and it's working though. It's working. It feels good. It just feels really good. I'm feeling stronger. Just not like, oh, I can pick up heavier things. I just feel like I can feel like my endurance changing. I just feel better. So I have gone in and out of exercise, and I'll probably go out of this too. I don't know. But the one thing I'm not messing around with is the food, because the food makes me cuckoo. If I stop exercising, I'll just be like, well, I'm fine. Because it's not like I'm just sedentary. I'm an active person, so I'm not really concerned about that. But for right now, it's on my plate.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Hi, Helen.
Hi, Helen.
Hello. Well, I have a little talk that I have to do with myself often, because as I'm losing weight along this journey, I think sometimes about this season. It doesn't even have to be a holiday. Just the fall season has all my favorite foods. And so I'm very tempted at times. And I have to keep reminding myself about the inflammation that comes with the sugar. So it's sometimes I just have to step away. It's not always about the weight. It's about the health. It's about the inflammation. And I have to keep reminding myself of that. And so far that has worked. But it is a bit of a struggle. I understand, we all have seasons that are our favorites, and also as it gets colder, I get less active. And I have to do something about that this year too, so that I don't just sit for the winter and hibernate. So the whole hibernation aspect is coming upon me pretty soon. But that's the mental game I have to play.
Yeah, if you have like different health concerns that have changed since you started eating well again, and you want to even think about introducing all that back, because you're going to get it back, like the inflammation. If you had it before, you'll get it back, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just like, don't want it, right? Don't want it.
I'm so glad you're all approaching this subject about the holidays, because it is a different challenge.
It is different.
Yeah.
Because we just equate those days with food. It's just all about, what are you bringing? What are you making? Oh, you make this and you make that. And oh, she makes the best pie. And oh, this one can't wait for this. And, it's just like, yeah. All done.
Well, thank you.
Hey, Helen, quick question before you go. In general, like during the nice season, where do you live? I don't even know, if you don't mind telling your state.
Oh, I'm in Ohio.
But you're pretty active, like during the spring, summer, fall?
Mostly the fall. I just love getting outside. When it hits 70s, I am out there. If it's too hot, I have trouble breathing sometimes, so I don't get out as much. Yeah. When it gets cold, same thing. So now's my sweet spot.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah, this weather has been really nice. So something that I'm looking into that you might be interested in, if you have a university near you, we have a university near us, and as part of the community, we can get, I can get a pass to their swimming pool. And because I'm retired, I can go during the week when it's not as busy, and it's not that expensive. And so, especially because this year I'll be a senior. So I'll
Ooh, get welcome.
Just an idea. And then also,
thank you.
if And so that will be indoors, and swimming is so good for you because it's no impact on your joints. And then the other idea is, and I don't know how old you are, so I'm not presuming anything, but there's a thing called silver sneakers with Medicare that you can get, and then you can get usually free memberships at a Y, depending on what plan you get. And so that's also an alternative. If that's of interest to you. So a way to just, even if you only have it for, well, you could have it year round because it's free, but if you only utilize it in the winter, just to gap you in those times when it's going outside is difficult. So just a couple of suggestions if you want to stay active.
Great ideas. Thank you so much. And yes, I have joined that club. I am the over the aged club.
Yeah. Well, welcome. It's better than not getting there. That's what I say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for participating, Helen.
Yeah, thank you.
And you're right. It's not just about the sugar and the weight. It's about the inflammation, right? It's the inflammation is key. Nicole from Minnesota. What you say, Nicole?
Well, hi, everybody. I want to mention that April Lee and Wendy wanted to speak. They wrote that in the chat, but they're having trouble raising their hand. So maybe you can call on them.
April and who?
Wendy, April Lee, and Wendy.
Are those three people or one? Or
two people. April Lee is one, and then Wendy is another.
Gotcha.
But
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I think there's a new, the thing is new again, and like where to raise your hand is under reactions now for me at least, and some other people, so it's hard to find again.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll just mention for me, I'm super excited about the holidays because I've been thinking about them way in advance. I mean, I started thinking about them last year, when Christmas was going on. And how I just do not want to go down a path that I used to go down. Lulu's right. Like, this is so precious, and I do treat it like glass. Like I don't want it to break, and I don't want to be the one and I'm the only one who can make it break, And so I plan on protecting it, celebrating it. I'm excited to cook for my family. I'm excited to have them bring whatever they want. It doesn't even matter. I mean, it could be whatever it is, it'll be wonderful for them, and I'll have my own food, and that will be wonderful for me. So what I am getting ready for, and might help to all of us, is just to remember what our responses are when people kind of pressure us or say, oh, you're not going to do this, or, you're going to do this for the rest of your life. All those things that kind of come up when we first started, and maybe our family or friends started noticing, so to kind of get those ready again, dusted off, and just ready to, have those answers that don't get us drawn into long conversations about why we don't want to eat your, bread pudding this year, or whatever it is. So yeah, I think this group will really be great to talk about it as we're going through the holidays, but I'm really already thinking about January and how we're all going to be like, like we made it through it. We got some new techniques. Our families and friends are more understanding now because, we're taking ourselves seriously, so they will too. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to it because it's different than any other time. And all those feelings and thoughts about, will I really never have that again? Will I really never have that again? They're so diminished because it's like, guess what I'm going to have? I'm going to have fun without food. I'm going to have family time without really focusing on what did you bring that I want to eat. It just brings it so much higher than what it really has been for me in the past, which is all about the food and what different people bring and make and their specialties. And my obsession with it, is just like, yeah, so many other people can just have a few treats and walk away and say, oh, now I got to watch it. That was never, ever me. It was like, now I am in a spiral of sugar and depression, so goodbye to that. Hello, holidays. Yep, here we come. So
nice, Nicole.
That's good.
That was perfect.
I'm getting some great one-liners here. I'm going to have to post them on the Facebook page because that's like the 3S that Nicole just said. Fun with family without food, right? That was perfect. That was really nice.
So Nicole, when you were saying about, being armed with the answers for people when they have questions and stuff, do you feel like you already have that information from being here, or do you feel like we should maybe talk about it maybe when it comes up?
Well, yeah, I think it's good to talk about it. I feel like I have my answers, and I'm okay with not doing a lot of explaining and just saying, like you've taught, kind of like, I know it's weird. It's just what I do. I'm a weirdo, that kind of deflection. But I think it's good to talk about it to help, us all just kind of remember. But, I think sometimes the conversations are a little more complicated. Like I have a friend who invited me to stop by a happy hour tomorrow night, and he knows I'm not having sugar, and I won't be drinking because alcohol turns to sugar, right? He's like, are you seriously going to keep doing this? Are we never going to have drinks together again? Because that's important to him. And I just told him, I will get together with you anytime and be totally silly and have fun, and I will not need to have a drink, and it's not even like the alcohol for me, it's that it's sugar. It's like and so he's a little heartbroken, and I'm like, why would it matter what goes down my pipes?
Yeah, because you can still get a drink. You just get like a salsa water with a lemon in it, and it's in a nice glass, and you're both having a drink. You're just not, yeah.
Yeah, and he's a dear friend, and I love him, but, that's what's important to him.
Right.
It's more about him, and so I love him. I'll still spend time with him, but he doesn't quite understand. But this is my journey. I have a problem with sugar. I don't want it to be a problem. I want it to be managed, and this plan has just been such a godsend because the cravings are gone, and I'm achieving, my goals. I'm so much happier in every other aspect. I will not give it up.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, Barb, to answer your question, I don't know. I personally think it's great to talk about it because it is kind of hard. And when you're new, you're thinking, how am I going to handle it? So
what am I going to say?
I think maybe first couple weeks in November, we'll have that as a topic as we approach.
Good idea.
As we approach, I gave up. I haven't drank since I was like 29, long time ago, and I did enough drinking in my 20s to last a lifetime. And so, and when I quit drinking, everybody was like, "Oh, so you're not going out with us anymore?" I go, "No, I'm going. I'm just not drinking." And you guys know me. I don't need a drink to be silly. I'm good enough without that. So good for you, Nicole.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, I'll just say, I had never had a drink until I was 28 because of the way I was raised, and there's an ad in here. I'm not going crazy. Like, sure you don't. But it was with him, and so it was like, anyway, it's just, it's like, to me, I know alcohol is serious for a lot of people and they have troubles with it. For me, it's just, it's sugar. So no, thank you. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it also reduces your inhibition, and that your resolve is diminished because you're like under the influence of alcohol, right? So we generally make at least I will say, I made a lot worse decisions when I was under the influence of alcohol than I do.
Right.
I do now. And I've had this discussion with Carol that for me, my addiction to sugar, and like I just gave up alcohol because it wasn't serving me well, not for any other reason, but I think it's all connected, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Lulu, you must feel that way too, right? It's all connected, whether it's the alcohol sugar or the sugar in a candy bar or whatever. It's that whole addiction cycle.
Yep.
There was just never enough. And so,
Yeah, and the alcohol, like you say, you're in an altered state. you're not in a position to make good choices, and you just start grabbing every snack and chip and French fry you can. You know, that was me.
That was me. No, I'm not saying that I know a lot of people that can have one glass of wine and be good, and not even have an altered state, and just that's good, and
That's
God
not
bless
me.
them. But that's not me.
That's not me either.
So so I'm not judging anybody. If anybody has glass alcohol, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just talking about myself.
One other thing I'll just add is, we've talked about this before, but when you have like an addiction to sugar, you've struggled with it, similarly, you wouldn't tell someone who struggles with alcohol it's okay to have a drink because it's Christmas or it's Thanksgiving, because that would really affect their sobriety. And I kind of feel like I'm sugar sober, and I don't want that to be a factor in my life.
Good point.
The two S's. Sugar sober. Gonna make t-shirts for that. Maybe a coffee mug. Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Don't you know? April Lee, are you here still?
Yes, she is. Yep.
Hello.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
April.
Hi.
I finally figured out how to speak.
Yay.
Where's April?
Thank you for including me. It's been a little tough. You guys all know each other, and I just feel like a stranger. But I thank you for everything you've shared. I've been interested in Nicole's speech because I've always been told I sound like I'm from Minnesota, and I've never heard from anybody from Minnesota, so I've been listening to her, but I have no idea what I sound like. But I just wanted to share that I have a get together with some gals this Sunday, and so it's the first time going to a restaurant trying to figure out what would I eat. And I looked at the menu, and then they're going out for ice cream after, and so I'm trying to make good choices. I'm not fully on the plan yet, Lulu, but I'm sort of a soft start. I've been eating much healthier. I've been cutting out sugar. But I just, it's a challenge to figure it out.
Yeah. So is your intentions to go there and order a specific meal that's healthy and to not have an ice cream when they have an ice cream? Is that your intention?
Yeah, my goal is to, I've looked at the menu because I've never been to this restaurant. And I've just looked to see, what might I order. And of course, it's just a lunch menu, so it's very reduced. But then when they said they were going out for ice cream after at Sweet Frogs, which I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's quite an ordeal. And I love ice cream, but I've not been eating much, of any of that. So I'm just, going to say, no, I'm good. Because I will be.
Yeah.
So.
And just know, like when you go, like I've suggested before, when you go to a restaurant, whatever you get, like if you order a salad, it's just not going to be big enough.
Yeah.
I go right to the side orders, and sometimes there's side orders of veggies like steamed broccoli, and I'll say, give me a salad and 3 orders of broccoli. And it's probably still not 16 ounces,
Right.
But
yeah.
I just go there and look for the the asparagus or mixed veggies of the day, and then just ask for the oil and vinegar on the side, and they'll bring you the cruets of that, and just figure around a tablespoon of oil, and then you can leave there feeling really good.
Yeah. But I appreciate, all your suggestions I've been listening to, all along. So.
Oh, good. Are you glad?
But I just wanted to say hi.
We're glad you're here. And, I'd like you to feel like a friend. I'd like you to feel like we all know each other because we're here, but now we know you.
But I didn't know how scary it was to just join a chat with,
No.
It's very,
we're chill. We're chill here, April.
Yeah.
We're very.
And did I put your hand up correctly or not? I really couldn't figure that out.
What was it?
To say I want to talk.
To raise your hand, you got to figure out how to raise.
I put some little hand thing in there, but I didn't know if it's the right one.
No, but you'll figure that out. You're
Yeah,
good.
right. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
So, April, a couple of things that I do for going out to dinner or lunch. If there's a limited menu and all they have is maybe a salad that you can get a protein on and it's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
I eat before I go.
Yeah.
But then, it's hard to do because you want to weigh it. So there's a component of that, right? But I have found that the salads at restaurants just aren't nutritious enough because they don't have all the vegetables that we like to eat. So maybe eating beforehand and then just getting a side salad with the protein and have the protein, eat all your vegetables or something, right?
Yeah.
That's one strategy I've used. And then when you get to that place, the frog place, I'll call it, because I didn't
Sweet frog.
Sweet frogs. When you get to sweet frogs, you go, you know what? That lunch was so good. I am full. Yeah. And most people just go, okay, and they don't question it. But if you go, yeah, I can't have that.
Yeah.
Then they go, oh, come on, because that's what we do as people. I've done it to people, right?
These are very close friends. Like this isn't. I'm not going to feel like a problem saying, oh, I'm just not eating that. I mean, they won't. But
good.
But it's just it's the you get together with friends and then it's like, oh, well, I can have this, but yeah.
Well,
I'm trying to be smart.
Yep.
Yeah, you're doing good. And have you felt a difference when, even with a soft start, like you called it, have you felt a difference in just how you feel?
Well, so I thought I was eating a big ass salad because every time I would have a big salad, I would be like, yeah, having a big ass salad, for my meal. And I had no idea. I wasn't weighing it. I haven't even been close to a big ass salad. So I got within 5 ounces tonight, I think. But
okay.
Yeah. But my biggest challenge is not going to be eating healthy and not eating sugar. My biggest challenge is I hate to shop. So having to shop more frequently, and get fresh stuff, that's going to be my biggest challenge, and not reverting to something else because of,
not having it on hand.
Yeah. So I basically, my soft start has been like the first week I have groceries, it was all fresh stuff. And then my next week was like veggie burgers and, things like that. So I was sort of like 1 week on, 1 week off,
a lot of grocery stores, you can put your order in online and then you just pull up.
I do, but it's still challenging. It's a 40-mile trip for me to go to that store, which is where I do shop. But like our Walmart has terrible produce. It's terrible. Yeah. So I have to go to the one Shaw place, and I can't really tell what the dates are on things. I live in a very remote area that has a lot of tourist industry, and it just it's tough. But yeah, I'll just have to go more frequently, and it's that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
I mean,
frozen vegetables are an option as well. Helen just suggested that frozen vegetables.
Right.
So then you can, get your fresh vegetables, and then the second week have frozen vegetables, or a little, and then the third week you're back to shopping again.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being 40 minutes from the grocery store. I ride my bike to my grocery store.
Well, I have one right up in town, but I live in a tourist place. So to go to that store that is a mile away, I might not be able to get anything I want because the tourists have already, taken everything off the shelf. And then in the summer, I can't even get near it until 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And
really?
Yeah, it's you've probably heard of Bar Harbor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I live in the heart of that, and it's tough.
Yeah.
So I drive 40 miles in order not to fight with people.
So let me just say, April, that I know somebody that follows this food plan, and she has an issue with one of her hands. She's got has very little mobility in one of her hands. The right one is perfectly fine. This one is kind of like she needs to kind of pick it up and put it, so it's not very, very usable. So she doesn't do a lot of slicing and dicing because she just can't. She does all frozen, and I mean I don't suggest that for anybody, but she goes to like Costco and gets the 5-pound bags. She'll go and get like 10 of them, so she's all stocked up.
Wow.
So she just always has the veggies. I usually have some frozen veggies in my freezer too, only for when I run low, when I run out of something.
Yeah.
They're not as good. They're not as good as fresh, but they're as healthy as fresh. Sometimes people would argue that they're healthier than fresh because they're harvested and then they're they're blanched and frozen immediately. Like the nutrition's just like right there.
Yeah.
But like when they harvest them, then they're sitting on a truck, and then they're sitting here or they're sitting there by the time they get to us. So it could be just as nourishing, definitely not as delicious because there's nothing like fresh veggies. But she has this certain mix that she loves from Costco, and I forget it's called. It has a mix of like 5 different veggies in it, and it's her favorite. So I forget the name of it though.
Yeah.
But yeah, just an option.
But any of those suggestions would be great. I did listen to what you said about the cabbage and the carrots, of having those at sort of the end, because they last longer.
Yep.
And I've gotten a lot of, are they sweet potato? Yeah, I think sweet potatoes, which will last forever. And the last time I was at the store to pick up stuff, they didn't have any.
Oh, no.
I was like, how can you not have a sweet potato?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And, as far as your protein, you can buy 10 pounds of chicken and put half of it in the freezer,
Oh, yeah. The protein isn't the thing. It's the fresh veggies that I...
So the cabbage, get like 3 heads of cabbage because, that's going to be like 5 meals. And that can sit for a while,
Yeah.
And the baby carrots too.
But I'll keep you posted on how that works out.
Good, April.
Yeah.
You're doing good.
Glad you're here,
Let
April.
us know.
Thank you.
Next week,
I'll leave you with one thing. I just heard, and I can't remember where I heard it. This granddaughter was visiting somebody. This was just a clip I heard, but she was visiting her grandfather, and she said, Papa, I ate some of your peanuts. And he goes, oh, that's okay. I've sucked all the chocolate off of them. I thought of it when the lady said about the raisins. All right. I'll see you on Halloween.
So you let us know. You let us know next week how you made out with your friends. We want to hear your success story.
I will.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye. All right.
Bye, April.
Hey, Wendy. You're next.
Hey, Wendy.
You're muted.
There you are.
There you go.
Nope. You're muted, Wendy.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes.
There we
go.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi there. Thanks. I'm so blessed that I stumbled across you on YouTube one night.
Good.
And you got hooked me in right then and there.
Good.
And now I have a family, a Thursday night family, all of you. So I look forward to this.
Oh, good.
Very much.
Good.
And I've made drastic changes, just like April. I'm not on it 100%, but I'm following your plan.
Good.
Not 100%. I don't even have a scale yet. So it's a work in progress.
Okay.
And that's why I really haven't said anything on your meetings, because I'm not 100% on board.
No, you don't need to be 100% we just, that rule on the Facebook page, that's just because there was all kinds of things showing up there and we were just concerned about people getting confused, but no, everybody can speak here.
Right. So I'm doing it like my way, but you're so involved. You're a big part of it, big part of it now. I love coming home and looking for your posts, seeing where you are, what you're doing, and it's a part. You're part of my life now.
Oh, that's nice, Wendy. That's nice.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
And also, if you ask Alexa to play your song, she plays it.
Yay!
Yeah, so I listen to it. It gets me going in the morning.
Oh.
That's good. Alexa knows me. That's
Yeah,
good.
she knows you.
Well, you know you made it when Alexa knows your song,
I know,
right?
huh? Yeah.
You hit the big time, yeah.
Big time. And that
Nice.
and that $23 check. That was big too.
That's about it.
Good. Thanks, Wendy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.
Welcome.
Pam, I saw you had your hand up. Did you want to chat or not? I'm calling you out, Pam. Where'd you go?
I figured you would. It wasn't. No, I didn't really have much. I did want to just give April one more little hint. Since she said she was going with really good friends, I've done this past summer is I weighed out 6 or 8 ounces baggie of veggies, like little mini tomatoes and cucumbers. And then when I just got that little salad, I just knew at least I put in that 8 ounce. When everybody, the waitress went away and all, just dumped my veggies right on. And ta-da, I had a nice big salad.
Yeah.
But that works.
That's a good tip. I've done that too. I've done that too.
I've even brought steamed green beans and steamed broccoli and thrown it in.
Yeah.
Yep. Whatever fits in the purse.
Right, whatever fits in your purse.
Whatever fits in the purse, yep.
I got a bigger purse.
Yeah. I can fit that whole big old bowl in mine. Yeah, that was kind of it. I feel pretty confident with the holidays coming right now. I don't want to say it too much and jinx myself, but I feel pretty good about it. So that's it.
Nice.
Good,
Hey,
Pam.
well, I usually don't use a purse either, but when I go to a restaurant, I use a big ass purse.
What about the purse? I don't carry a purse when I'm traveling. But remember when I was in Mexico, I took a purse into Mexico because I took my meal over the border. In the purse. Yeah. I was like, I don't know if they're going to search me, but I was like, I'm not going over there and eating Mexican food. I'm not doing it. You know.
Yeah.
Anything else want to share before we wrap it up?
I was going to say one more thing. I was watching that doctor on YouTube, Hyman, or what is that guy?
Dr. Mark Hyman.
Yes. And he was talking about how anti-inflammatory it is when we stop eating sugar. And he says the first thing you notice is your face gets skinny. And I went, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. But I asked Gary, I said, am I snoring anymore? I think my sinuses have become anti-inflammatory without eating sugar. And I'm going to watch more of that guy. He had a whole talk on sugar and the things that you will see physically, more things other than the arthritis and I'm not snoring anymore.
Wow.
So, yeah, no sugar. It's the devil.
Yeah. That's right. Join the group there, Sue. All right. Oh, Tracy.
There it goes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Tracy.
Okay, I just want to read this really quick, that it seems like a good time to read it. It says, be firm about your choices right now. Don't go backwards to habits and situations that weren't helping you evolve. You have to keep reminding yourself why you even decided to move forward. Stay positive about what's to come by being consistent with your change now.
I like it.
That's lovely.
I thought it'd be a good time to bring that up.
Yeah.
But I learned it.
That's really good.
Yeah, that was good. It's just
maybe
just
you can post that on the Facebook page for us, Tracy.
Yeah.
Are you on the Facebook page?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, just remember why you started to begin with. Remember that day. I remember the day. It was like just done. I was just so sick and tired of being sick and tired, you know?
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah. And here we are.
I hear you.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Yay.